CamFM.co.uk.
On air
97.2.
and across Cambridge.
Your news, your CamFM.
On the 21st of April, Diane Von Furstenberg came to speak to the Cambridge Union, and CamFM had the opportunity to interview the world-famous fashion designer on her phenomenally successful wrap dress, her contribution to the fashion and art world, and how she views the future of the DVF brand. A number of artists and designers who've been brought to fame by one particularly iconic piece have spoken of the frustrations of being constantly linked to that piece. Do you feel that way about the wrap dress at times?
I used to, because I mean my name, if you mention my name, the wrap dress is always attached to it. And for years, I mean for many years, first I was happy and then I kind of resented it. But now, of course I don't resent it. I mean I actually, after I did the exhibition on the wrap dress 2 years ago in LA, that's when I really realized how, that's the first time that I realized what an impact it really had. And from that moment on, I'm absolutely happy and to be the original rapper.
The original rapper, fantastic. I suppose I had another question, on how you perceive your role in Diane Von Furstenberg as the brand. And I suppose in New York, a lot of the fashion houses are a lot younger than in places like Paris, so they're a lot more connected with the original founding designer. And I was wondering, do you feel in the future that you're going to stay very connected, or do you think you're going to follow more of a path of maybe Calvin Klein or Joe Malone?
Oh, no. I'm absolutely looking for who is going to take over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm very close.
Okay, so you're just going to stay close, but looking to kind of hand over the kind
of...
Oh,
yes. That's my goal now, is to make the legacy and to make the legacy work.
And I suppose you've become very involved in your philanthropic work with your own foundation and with Vital Voices. And I suppose I was wondering, have you always felt that kind of philanthropic need, or did you have a point where you thought, look, I want to do something beyond fashion?
I think it really comes, philanthropy is not something that you force. Mm-hmm. It's really something that happens, and gradually, you understand and you realize that you have a voice, and then that you could use that voice, and then the more you do, the more pleasure and joy you have, and so it kind of snowballs, and it's nice.
And I suppose you've got numerous different awards and different kind of things that form part of your legacy, everything from having your wrap dress feature in the Costume Institute in the Met, to having your Michelle Obama wear your work in the official White House Christmas card. And I suppose when you look back at that kind of stuff, what are you most proud of?
I'm proud of all of it. I am very proud to have, in the exhibition I had Michelle Obama and on the first Christmas card wearing the dress, and exactly next to her I put Amy Newhouse 2 weeks before she died of an overdose. I mean, and everybody said, why did you put them? I said, because the contrast is so, that to me is so, that so many different women find that, for me that's very...
Yeah, and it's interesting that you said that, because there's a quote from the playwright and performer Sarah Jones, who said about your kind of work that Diane reminds you to live into whatever you have right now. And again, you've described your own brand as, we sell confidence. And is that that kind of comes across in the way you've displayed those two wrap dresses, that it's about who that person is at that time?
I mean, the poor girl died 2 weeks later, so I mean, but she was an amazing artist, and she left a body of work, even though she died at 26. Listen, I this is my job, and I do it, and I'm honored and happy to see that people use it in order to express themselves. And I mean, clearly the Christmas, I mean, this was the first lady of the first president who was colored, and that she, and when people do a Christmas card, I mean, you think, what do I wear? What does the dog wear? Where do I put the plant and everything else? And this is the White House. And she picked that dress. I couldn't have a better. And this is not something I knew. It's after it was done that the photographer said, by the way, do you know? And I got a copy. And then I called the White House and I said, may I have a copy? And,
Well, I hope they sent you a copy.
well, photographer sent me the photo.
And then I suppose I had a kind of final question. So you came to kind of prominence in the time at Studio 54, and I guess I was wondering, like, do you feel nostalgic about that time, or do you feel there's some kind